Hi folks, welcome to your second video as part of the Leap Sports Community Yoga. Today we're going to be talking a little bit about diaphragmatic breathing or belly breathing, yogic breath. It's a breathing technique that was it was the first yoga breathing technique that I was taught as a teacher and as a student. And what it ultimately does is it taps into the vagus nerve, which runs through the body but passes through the belly, and it sends a message all the way up to the brain telling you to chill out, relax. So it's called the relaxation response. So it taps into the scientific terminology of the parasympathetic nervous system. So it's trying to take you out of a fight or flight mode and bring calm and balance back into the body and into the mind. So it's a breathing technique that I use often whenever I'm nervous, whenever there's a kind of build-up of anxiety, whenever I just need to calm down, and sometimes when I just need some of the thoughts in my mind to just slow down a little, so before I go to bed or when I'm in bed. And I'm going to demonstrate a couple of different ways for you to try. Okay, so this gives you a slightly better view. So I'm sitting in a what is a comfortable position for me, but maybe you'll be sitting cross-legged with your tailbone tilted into the body, so you're already kind of struggling to get a breath out here. You want to be able to, for yogic breath, be able to have space for the belly to rise and fall, to rise and fall. So sometimes for people doing it for the first time, if you do a lot of sports and you do a lot of sit-ups and press-ups, you might find it really difficult because you're really toned and kind of stiff within the belly. So you can come down onto your back with your knees bent. Just breathe out here. Take a hand to the belly and take another hand to the rib cage or the chest. And your eyes can be open or closed. And all you might be concentrating on the first time you do this is just trying to get the belly to rise. So breathe in fully. When someone says breathe in, we go and we pull the belly in and we take all the air up into our chest and our collarbone. So when I'm saying breathe in, you can close your eyes if it helps. Push the belly up and out. And as you exhale, let the belly come down. So breathing in, push the belly up. Breathing out. Breathing in. Watch your hand rise. Let the hand fall. If you can breathe in and out through the nose, that's also going to help tap into the parasympathetic nervous system. When we breathe in and out through our mouth, it brings us to an alertness. So if you imagine that you were in a forest and you think you see something in the shadows, boom, you get tingly to your fingers, your brain goes into overdrive, your eyes are alert. That is your fight or flight mode. You then realize it's just a log or a bush that happened to look like a wolf or a leopard or a black panther, something along those lines. So sometimes we live on the edge of being fight or flight all the time. It's just the kind of the world that we live in, unfortunately, and we don't even know it. It's only when we get a shock to the system that drives all the blood to our nerve endings. It takes all the blood away from our internal organs because it's trying to make sure that we can survive. What we're trying to do with this breath of breathing into the belly, or getting used to the belly rising and falling, no pulling the belly in, let it rise and fall, that automatically taps into that the vagus nerve, all the way up to the brain that says chill out. That's what it's trying to say to us, is just chill out. So the easiest way to first find out how to do it is to take your hand, as we've been doing, one on the rib cage. We'll come towards the full breath in a moment, but really the beginning point is just the belly. Letting the belly rise and fall, breathing in and out through the nose if you can. Maybe for a count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Release. 2, 3. Breathe in. 2, 3. Release. 2, 3. On your own. Okay, let your breath come back to normal. And just notice if there's any change, even if it's just little, as your breath comes back to normal. To take it a stage further so that we can come towards a full yogic breath, we breathe into the belly for 1. We breathe up towards the rib cage for 2. So you might feel it expand, and then the final breath comes towards the collarbone. The trick is then to let go from the collarbone first, so the belly stays out, then the rib cage, then the belly. So we can try that together. Belly for 1, rib cage, collarbone, out from the collarbone, rib cage, belly. That's why the hand there is really handy. So trying again, belly, rib cage, collarbone, collarbone, rib cage, belly. Try on your own. Belly first. All the way to the collarbone, and then from the collarbone, rib cage, belly. So if you want to, you could bring yourself back up towards a seat if you can, or you can stay on the floor, finding a comfortable position that gives you space. You can sit against a wall. This can be really nice to have the back straight, hands on your lap or your knees. I said that the opposite way around, but your lap or your knees. Palms can face up or palms can face down. Bringing the breath just for the belly rises first. So in for 3 and out for 3 into the belly. One more. Let's try maybe taking the other hand to the rib cage. Belly first. Rib cage. Collarbone. Keep the belly pushed out. Collarbone. Rib cage. Belly. Maybe seeing if you can take the hands away and just concentrate on breathing into the belly, the rib cage and the collarbone, and then out from the collarbone, rib cage, belly. If that's feeling just a little bit more of a challenge than you're wanting, just breathe into the belly, deep belly breaths. Now you can put on some nice music as you do this, calming music if possible. If you find yourself in a situation where you're feeling like you're going into a heightened state of alertness and you don't want to, or you're feeling a little bit panicked or anxious, if you can just connect hand to belly, take a seat wherever you are. You can even do it standing, but sitting or lying is going to allow you full belly breath. And take that deep breath in. Fill the belly. Don't worry about it sticking out. Letting the breath go. And then maybe introducing belly, chest, collarbone, collarbone, chest, belly. Up and down the body, following that breath, bringing focus, bringing a sense of calm. If you're struggling to get out of your mind feeling, even watching this video and you're trying to find that concentration and your mind's feeling a bit jiggly, take a breath in and really sigh out with a loud ah. Breathe in. Once more. And that can be a really quick way of just letting go of the tension, then bringing it in towards your belly breath. I'll see you on Sunday. Have a lovely weekend.